There is a quiet kind of power that most people never learn. It is not loud, it does not argue, it does not chase approval, and it does not shake every time someone misunderstands it. It is the power of remaining untouched by the chaos of other people. Many spend their lives reacting to every opinion, every insult, every rejection, every disappointment, until their peace becomes controlled by strangers. One careless word ruins their day. One act of disrespect changes their mood. One betrayal makes them question their worth. But there comes a moment in life when you begin to understand that protecting your peace is more important than proving your point. You cannot live freely while carrying the emotions of everyone around you. Some people are angry because they are wounded. Some people criticize because they feel small. Some people provoke because your calmness reminds them of the war inside themselves. If you absorb every negative emotion thrown towards you, you will spend your entire life emotionally exhausted. Not because life defeated you, but because you allowed other people to sit inside your mind rent-free. One of the greatest lessons you will ever learn is this: not everything deserves a reaction. Silence can protect you in ways arguments never will. Walking away can save your spirit in ways revenge never could. People often believe strength means responding immediately, defending yourself constantly, or proving people wrong. But true strength is emotional discipline. True strength is remaining calm while others lose control. True strength is understanding that your peace is too valuable to be sacrificed for temporary emotions. There are people, snorts, who will misunderstand your silence and call it weakness. Let them. There are people who will try to provoke you because they cannot control themselves. Let them. There are people who will project their insecurities onto you and expect you to carry their bitterness. Do not accept it. You must stop volunteering your spirit for battles that were never yours to fight. Most anger is not caused by the situation itself. It comes from expectations. You expected respect and received disrespect. You expected honesty and received deception. You expected loyalty and received abandonment. The pain grows because the mind keeps resisting reality. But peace begins when you stop demanding that people become who you hope they would be. Some people simply do not have the emotional maturity to love correctly, communicate honestly, or treat others with kindness. Their behavior is a reflection of their inner condition, not your value. You must learn the art of emotional detachment. Not coldness, not cruelty, not becoming heartless. Emotional detachment means understanding that you can care without carrying. You can love without losing yourself. You can listen without absorbing negativity. You can walk through the world without allowing every storm to enter your soul. There will always be criticism. If you succeed, someone will resent you. If you speak, someone will disagree. If you stay silent, someone will misunderstand you. If you choose yourself, someone will call you selfish. You cannot escape judgment, so stop building your life around avoiding it. The moment you stop needing everyone to understand you is the moment you become emotionally free. Some people are addicted to conflict because peace feels unfamiliar to them. They create drama wherever they go. They complain constantly, blame endlessly, and carry chaos into every room. If you are not careful, they will pull you into emotional battles that drain your energy and distract you from your purpose. Not every invitation deserves acceptance. Sometimes the intelligent response is distance. You do not owe everyone access to your emotions. You do not owe everyone explanations. You do not owe everyone your energy. There are people who only contact you when they need something. People who disappear when you struggle. People who expect your kindness while giving nothing in return. Stop confusing self-sacrifice with love. You were not born to emotionally bleed for people who would never bandage your wounds. One day you realize that anger changes nothing. It does not heal betrayal. It does not erase disrespect. It does not force people to love you correctly. It only steals your peace and places your emotional state in the hands of others. Anger is expensive. It costs clarity, sleep, joy, and emotional balance. Some people spend years carrying rage towards someone who has already moved on with their life. Meanwhile, their own heart becomes heavier every day. Peace is not found by controlling people. Peace is found by controlling yourself. There is freedom in becoming unbothered. When you stop reacting to every opinion, people lose power over you. When you stop arguing with ignorance, confusion no longer disturbs your spirit. When you stop needing validation, rejection loses its sting. Emotional freedom begins the moment you understand that your worth is not determined by how others treat you. Many people are carrying invisible pain. The rude person, the bitter person, the jealous person, the manipulative person. Often they are fighting battles inside themselves that have nothing to do with you. This does not excuse harmful behavior, but it helps you stop personalizing everything. Sometimes people hurt others simply because they are hurting themselves. Sometimes their darkness spills onto innocent people. If you take every wound personally, life will harden your heart. But if you learn compassion without self-destruction, you preserve your peace. The world will test your patience repeatedly. There will be delays, betrayals, disappointments, insults, misunderstandings, and unfair situations. You cannot control all of it, but you can control your response. And your response determines the quality of your life more than the event itself. A calm mind sees clearly, an angry mind sees enemies everywhere. You must become selective with your energy. Every argument steals time you can never recover. Heck clears throat. Every unnecessary emotional reaction weakens your focus. Every toxic interaction leaves residue on your spirit. Ask yourself before reacting, is this worth my peace? Most of the time the answer is no. Maturity is realizing that closure does not always come through conversations. Sometimes closure comes through acceptance. Sometimes you will never receive the apology you deserve. Sometimes people will lie about you, misunderstand you, or leave your life without explanation. Chasing answers will only deepen your suffering. Not every chapter needs a perfect ending to be finished. The strongest people are not those who never feel anger. They are the ones who feel it and choose wisdom instead of destruction. Anyone can explode. Anyone can scream. Anyone can lose control, but remaining calm while emotionally wounded requires extraordinary discipline. Do not confuse emotional control with suppression. Suppressed emotions eventually become poison. You must feel your emotions honestly without becoming enslaved by them. Acknowledge your hurt, acknowledge your disappointment, acknowledge your frustration, but do not build a home inside those feelings. Emotions are visitors, not permanent residents. Some people carry anger because they secretly believe their pain gives them identity. They repeat the same stories for years, reliving the same wounds until bitterness becomes part of their personality. But healing begins when you stop worshiping your suffering. Your pain may explain you, but it should never define you. The more secure you become within yourself, the less external chaos affects you. Confidence creates emotional stability. Insecurity creates emotional reactions. When you know who you are, criticism loses power. When you trust yourself, rejection feels lighter. When your peace comes from within, the world cannot easily disturb it. There is something deeply powerful about a person who refuses to become cruel after experiencing cruelty, a person who remains gentle without becoming weak, a person who remains calm without becoming passive, a person who walks away from chaos instead of contributing to it. That kind of emotional mastery changes everything. Do not waste your life trying to win arguments with people committed to misunderstanding you. Some people do not listen to understand, they listen to react. No amount of explanation will change a mind that enjoys conflict more than truth. Save your energy. Sometimes the greatest act of self-respect is refusing to engage. The older you become, the more you realize that peace is wealth. A peaceful mind sleeps better. A peaceful heart loves better. A peaceful soul lives longer. People chase money, attention, and status while neglecting the condition of their inner world. But what good is success if your spirit is constantly disturbed? Protect your nervous system. Protect your emotional balance. Protect your inner calm. You cannot heal while constantly surrounded by negativity. Some environments are emotionally poisonous. Some relationships survive through conflict and emotional manipulation. If every interaction leaves you anxious, drained, or emotionally unstable, pay attention. Your body often recognizes danger before your mind accepts it. Not everyone deserves continued access to you. One of the hardest truths to accept is that some people enjoy provoking emotional reactions because it gives them a sense of control. They know exactly what to say to upset you. They study your sensitivities and use them against you. The moment they realize they can no longer control your emotions, their power disappears. Calmness is not weakness. Sometimes calmness is the strongest boundary you can create. There is dignity and composure. There is intelligence and restraint. Life becomes lighter when you stop carrying unnecessary emotional weight. Forgiveness does not mean approving harmful behavior. It means refusing to let bitterness poison your future. Some people are still emotionally trapped in moments that happened years ago. Their body moved forward, but their spirit stayed behind. Do not become imprisoned by your past. Every moment you spend angry at someone is a moment of peace you surrender forever. People will disappoint you. That is part of life. Humans are imperfect. They make promises they cannot keep. They fail you during moments you needed them most. They choose themselves sometimes. If you expect perfection from imperfect people, disappointment will become constant. Learn to accept people for who they truly are instead of who you wish they would become. This does not mean lowering your standards. It means seeing clearly. Emotional intelligence is knowing when to speak and when silence carries greater wisdom. Not every truth needs to be announced. Not every disrespect deserves confrontation. Not every misunderstanding requires correction. Sometimes peace requires allowing people to remain wrong about you. That is difficult for many people because the ego constantly seeks validation. The ego wants to defend itself, explain itself, and prove itself. But peace often requires letting the ego starve. You do not need everyone to agree with your existence. The most dangerous thing you can do is allow temporary emotions to create permanent consequences. One moment of uncontrolled anger can destroy relationships, opportunities, reputations, and years of progress. Emotional discipline protects your future. When someone insults you, pause before reacting. Ask yourself why their opinion feels so powerful. Often the deepest reactions reveal unhealed insecurities inside us. People can only emotionally control the parts of you that still doubt themselves. Healing creates emotional independence. There is beauty in becoming emotionally self-sufficient. You stop depending on praise to feel valuable. You stop depending on attention to feel seen. You stop depending on others to maintain your peace. Your emotional state becomes internally grounded rather than externally controlled. It clears throat. This is why solitude becomes important. Silence teaches you who you are without distractions. Being alone teaches you how to regulate your emotions without constant external stimulation. Many people fear solitude because they have never learned how to sit with themselves peacefully. But growth often happens in quiet spaces. You begin noticing how much energy was wasted on unnecessary reactions. You realize how many sleepless nights came from caring about opinions that never truly mattered. Trahai Snortsator, you understand that many battles were distractions from your real purpose. Some people are sent into your life not to love you, but to teach you emotional strength. Every betrayal teaches discernment. Every disappointment teaches detachment. Every difficult person teaches patience. Life uses people as mirrors, revealing the places within you that still need healing. Do not become bitter because of difficult experiences. Become wiser. A peaceful person is not someone who never experienced pain. A peaceful person is someone who learned not to let pain control them. There is enormous strength and emotional restraint. In a world addicted to instant reactions, calmness becomes rare. People react immediately online. In conversations and relationships without reflection or self-awareness, but emotional maturity requires pause. It requires observation before response. Sometimes the best answer is no answer. Sometimes the best revenge is moving forward peacefully. Sometimes the best protection is emotional distance. You cannot force people to value you correctly. Stop exhausting yourself trying to convince people of your worth. Those who truly see your value will not require endless proof, and those determined to misunderstand you will remain blind regardless of your efforts. Do not chase acceptance from emotionally unavailable people. The less you react to negativity, the more peaceful your life becomes. You begin understanding that many situations are temporary, many insults are meaningless, many conflicts are distractions. Time reveals how small most problems truly were. Years from now, you will not remember every rude comment or unfair situation, but you will remember how much energy you wasted emotionally fighting things beyond your control. Learn to observe without absorbing. That is a rare skill. You can witness someone's anger without becoming angry yourself. You can witness someone's disrespect without doubting your worth. You can witness someone's bitterness without carrying it home inside your spirit. Other people's emotions do not have to become your emotional responsibility. There is freedom in emotional boundaries. As you grow, your circle becomes smaller and your peace becomes more important. You stop entertaining meaningless drama. You stop arguing with people committed to negativity. You stop forcing relationships that constantly disturb your spirit. You realize that protecting your peace is not selfish, it is necessary. A calm life is built through small daily choices. Choosing silence over unnecessary conflict. Choosing understanding over immediate judgment. Choosing rest over emotional exhaustion, choosing distance over toxic attachment, choosing healing over bitterness. These choices shape your emotional future. One day you stop reacting the way you used to and people notice. The same situations no longer disturb you. The same words no longer trigger you. The same chaos no longer controls your emotions. Not because life became easier, but because you became stronger internally. That is real growth. When you truly master emotional control, you stop needing to prove yourself constantly. You stop fearing rejection. You stop carrying every disappointment personally. You stop allowing temporary people to permanently disturb your spirit. You become calmer, softer, clearer. You begin protecting your peace like something sacred because you finally understand how expensive chaos truly is. The world does not need more angry people. It needs more emotionally disciplined people. More people capable of responding with wisdom instead of impulse. More people capable of remaining grounded in difficult moments. More people who understand that inner peace is a form of power. Do not allow this world to harden your heart or steal your calmness. There will always be negativity, conflict, and emotionally wounded people projecting their pain onto others, but you must decide whether you will carry their darkness or continue walking in your own light. Every day you wake up, you have a choice. You can spend your energy reacting to everyone around you, or you can protect your spirit and move through life with grace. One path leads to exhaustion, the other leads to peace, and peace will always be the more powerful choice. Most anger does not come from what people do. It comes from what you expected them to do instead. You expected honesty, but received deception. You expected loyalty, but experienced abandonment. You expected understanding, but were met with judgment. The pain grows because the mind creates an image of how people should behave, and when reality breaks that image, frustration begins to rise inside you. Many people believe they are angry because of others, but often they are angry because life did not match the version they imagined in their head. Human beings naturally attach expectations to relationships, friendships, family, and even strangers. You expect people to value your kindness because you value theirs. You expect respect because you offer respect. You expect consistency because you are consistent. But the difficult truth is that not everyone thinks the way you do. Not everyone loves the way you love. Not everyone carries the same heart, the same morals, or the same emotional depth. The sooner you understand this, the lighter your emotional burden becomes. A person who expects too much from people often lives in constant disappointment. Every delayed message feels personal. Every change in behavior feels like rejection. Every mistake feels like betrayal. They become emotionally exhausted because they are constantly trying to force reality to match their expectations. But peace begins when you stop demanding perfection from imperfect people. People are flawed. They are inconsistent, they are emotional, they are unpredictable. Some will love you deeply one day and distance themselves the next because humans are complicated creatures fighting battles you cannot always see. Many people secretly expect others to heal wounds they never caused. They expect relationships to remove loneliness, attention to remove insecurity, and validation to remove self-doubt. But no person can permanently fill an emptiness that was created within. When your happiness depends entirely on how people clear as throat treat you, your emotional state becomes unstable because people change constantly. Their moods change, their priorities change, their feelings change. If your peace depends on something so unstable, anger and disappointment become unavoidable. There is freedom in lowering unnecessary expectations. This does not mean accepting disrespect or tolerating harmful behavior. It means understanding reality clearly instead of creating fantasies about people. Some individuals will never give you the love you keep trying to earn. Some will never apologize no matter how deeply they hurt you. Some will misunderstand you even after countless explanations. Fighting reality only deepens suffering. Acceptance brings peace. A large part of emotional maturity is learning to separate expectations from reality. You may expect people to support you during difficult moments because you would support them, but many people disappear when life becomes inconvenient. You may expect honesty because honesty feels natural to you, but some people lie to protect themselves from discomfort. When you stop assuming everyone shares your mindset, you stop being shocked by human behavior. Your reactions become calmer because your expectations become more realistic. Most anger begins with the sentence, "They should have. They should have respected me. They should have cared. They should have stayed loyal. They should have understood my pain." But life becomes lighter when you replace "they should have" with "they chose not to." That small shift changes everything. It moves you away from emotional resistance and closer to acceptance. People reveal who they are through their actions, not through your expectations of them. Sometimes expectations become dangerous because they create emotional dependency. You begin expecting people to always make you feel valued, understood, and secure. Then the moment they fail, your emotional world collapses. But true peace comes from emotional independence. It comes from learning how to create stability within yourself rather than demanding it from others. When you no longer depend on people to maintain your happiness, their behavior loses the power to destroy your peace completely. Social media has made expectations even heavier. People expect constant attention, immediate replies, endless validation, and perfect relationships because they compare real life to carefully edited illusions online. They see filtered happiness and begin expecting life to always feel emotionally satisfying, but reality is not always soft and beautiful. People disappoint each other. Miscommunication happens. Relationships change. Human beings fail constantly because perfection does not exist outside imagination. Sometimes people become angry because they expected others to read their minds. They remain silent about their needs, their pain, and their boundaries, then feel hurt when others fail to understand them. But unspoken expectations often create silent resentment. Communication matters. Clarity matters. People cannot always understand emotions that are never expressed. There are also expectations we place on life itself. People expect success to arrive quickly, healing to happen instantly, and happiness to remain permanent. Then reality arrives with delays, failures, heartbreak, and uncertainty. The anger grows because life refuses to move according to personal timelines. But life is never promised fairness or comfort every day. Some seasons are painful. Some lessons arrive through disappointment. Some growth only comes through struggle. The less you expect life to always feel easy, the stronger your mind becomes during difficult moments. You stop collapsing every time things go wrong because you understand that hardship is part of being human. Expectations create fragility when they become unrealistic. Acceptance creates resilience. There is also a hidden arrogance inside some expectations. Sometimes people unconsciously believe others owe them certain behavior simply because they themselves act differently. They think, "I would never do that." So they shouldn't either, but people act according to their level of awareness, healing, and emotional maturity. Not everyone has the same capacity for empathy, loyalty, or accountability. Understanding this helps reduce unnecessary emotional suffering. The more attached you become to expectations, the more emotionally reactive you become. Every unmet expectation feels like an attack against your happiness. But when you learn to approach life with openness instead of rigid emotional demands, your inner peace becomes stronger. You begin allowing people to reveal themselves naturally rather than forcing them into roles you created in your mind. This does not mean becoming cold or detached from humanity. It means becoming wiser about human nature. Love people without expecting perfection from them. Care for others without making your emotional survival dependent on their behavior. Give kindness freely without expecting everyone to return it equally. Some people will appreciate your heart deeply. Others will take it for granted. That is reality. A freer mind is created when you stop trying to control outcomes you were never meant to control. You cannot control how people feel about you. You cannot control whether someone stays loyal. You cannot control whether people misunderstand your intentions. The only thing truly within your control is your response. The more energy you waste trying to force others to meet your expectations, the less peace remains within you. Many relationships become toxic because both people are carrying invisible expectations they never communicate clearly. One expects attention, the other expects silence. One expects emotional support, the other expects independence. And frustration grows because neither side truly understands the emotional rules the other person secretly created. Expectations without communication often become silent emotional traps. Sometimes the healthiest thing you can do is release expectations completely and simply observe people as they are. Watch their actions. Watch their consistency. Watch how they behave when life becomes difficult. Reality always reveals more truth than hope ever will. People eventually show you their priorities, values, and emotional capacity without needing long explanations. The less you expect from people, the more grateful you become for genuine kindness when it appears naturally. Small acts begin feeling meaningful instead of insufficient. You stop measuring every interaction against impossible emotional standards. Gratitude grows because entitlement fades. Inner peace is deeply connected to acceptance. Acceptance of people's flaws. Acceptance of life's unpredictability, acceptance that not everyone will choose you, understand you, or value you correctly. Once acceptance replaces unrealistic expectations, anger slowly loses its control over your mind. Your emotional world becomes quieter because you are no longer constantly fighting reality. The strongest response to negativity is rarely loud. It does not always arrive through arguments, revenge, or proving someone wrong. Real high-snort strength often appears in the form of calmness, a quiet mind, a steady heart, the ability to remain emotionally untouched in situations designed to disturb you. Many people believe power comes from reacting immediately, defending themselves constantly, or matching aggression with aggression. But the people who truly master life understand that protecting their peace is more important than winning temporary emotional battles. Negativity exists everywhere. It appears in conversations, relationships, workplaces, families, and even in the minds of strangers who project their frustrations onto others. Some people carry so much pain inside themselves that they spread it unconsciously wherever they go. Their words become sharp. Their energy becomes heavy and their behavior becomes emotionally draining. If you absorb every negative emotion thrown towards you, you slowly lose yourself. Your peace disappears one reaction at a time. A calm mind is powerful because it sees clearly. Anger clouds judgment. Emotional reactions often create more damage than the original situation itself. One moment of uncontrolled emotion can destroy years of trust, opportunities, and emotional stability. Calmness allows you to pause before speaking. It gives you space to think instead of simply reacting. In difficult moments, the calmest person usually holds the greatest power because they are not controlled by impulse. Many people are addicted to reacting. They respond instantly to criticism, disrespect, and disagreement because they believe silence means weakness. But silence can sometimes be the highest form of emotional intelligence. Not every insult deserves a response. Not every misunderstanding requires correction. Not every negative person deserves access to your energy. A clear's throat. Some battles only exist because people continue feeding them with attention. There are individuals who thrive on emotional chaos. They provoke reactions because it gives them a sense of control. They study your sensitivities, your insecurities, and your emotional triggers. The moment they realize they can disturb your peace, they continue doing it because your reactions become entertainment for them. But when you respond with calmness instead of emotional instability, their power begins to disappear. Emotional discipline confuses people who expect easy reactions. A quiet spirit does not mean you never feel hurt. It means you refuse to let pain transform you into someone bitter. Life can be deeply unfair. People betray trust, misunderstand intentions, spread negativity, and create unnecessary conflict. The easy response is anger. The easy response is revenge. But easy reactions rarely create peaceful lives. Carrying constant emotional tension slowly poisons the mind and body. Some people spend years replaying arguments in their head, reliving moments that no longer exist, allowing old negativity to continue controlling their present peace. The strongest people are often the gentlest because they understand the cost of emotional chaos. They know that protecting inner peace requires discipline. It requires patience. It requires learning when to walk away instead of proving a point. Walking away is not surrender. Sometimes walking away is wisdom. Sometimes distance is the healthiest response to negativity. Many arguments continue not because solutions are impossible, but because both people are more focused on winning than understanding. Ego turns simple disagreements into emotional wars. People defend themselves aggressively because they fear appearing weak, wrong, or vulnerable. But emotional maturity teaches you that peace matters more than pride. You do not need to win every conversation to maintain your dignity. A calm mind also protects you from unnecessary suffering. When you react emotionally to every opinion, every criticism, and every negative situation, life becomes exhausting. Your mood constantly changes depending on external events. One rude comment ruins your day. One misunderstanding destroys your confidence. One difficult interaction steals your peace. But emotional strength grows when you stop allowing outside negativity to determine your inner state. Not everyone deserves emotional access to you. This is one of the hardest lessons people learn. Some individuals only enter your life to drain energy, create confusion, and spread emotional heaviness. They complain constantly, criticize or snorts endlessly, and carry unresolved pain into every interaction. You cannot heal people by sacrificing your own peace. Sometimes the healthiest response is creating emotional distance. There is deep wisdom in learning how to observe negativity without absorbing it. You can witness someone's anger without becoming angry yourself. You can hear criticism without questioning your worth. You can experience rejection without abandoning yourself emotionally. Other people's emotions do not always have to become your emotional responsibility. A quiet spirit often comes from experience. People who have suffered deeply usually understand how valuable peace truly is. After enough disappointment and emotional exhaustion, they stop chasing unnecessary conflict. They stop trying to control everyone around them. They stop wasting energy proving themselves to people committed to misunderstanding them. Life teaches them that inner peace is far more valuable than temporary emotional victories. Many people think strength means becoming emotionally hard, cold, or detached from humanity. But true strength is remaining soft without becoming weak, remaining kind without becoming naive, remaining peaceful without allowing others to manipulate your silence. Calmness is not passivity. A calm person can still set boundaries, walk away, and protect themselves without losing emotional control. The ability to walk away is one of the most powerful emotional skills a person can develop. Walking away from toxic conversations, walking away from disrespect, walking away from environments that constantly disturb your spirit. Some people's snorts remain trapped in negativity because they are emotionally addicted to conflict. They confuse chaos with passion and emotional suffering with love. But healthy peace often requires separation from unnecessary drama. Walking away also means releasing the need for constant validation. Many arguments happen because people desperately want to be understood, accepted, or approved by others. They exhaust themselves explaining their intentions to people who already decided to misunderstand them. But peace begins when you stop demanding understanding from everyone around you. Some people are committed to seeing you through the lens of their own pain, jealousy, or insecurity. No amount of explanation can change minds that do not truly wish to understand. Negativity becomes less powerful when you stop taking everything personally. Sometimes people are rude because they are unhappy. Sometimes people criticize because they feel insecure. Sometimes people attack others simply because they are emotionally wounded themselves. Their behavior reflects their inner condition more than your value. Understanding this creates emotional freedom because you stop carrying other people's darkness as proof of your inadequacy. A calm mind requires intentional habits. Solitude becomes important because silence helps you reconnect with yourself. Rest becomes important because exhaustion weakens emotional control. Reflection becomes important because self-awareness helps you understand your emotional triggers before they control you. Peace is not accidental. It is created through conscious choices repeated daily. The strongest response to negativity is often refusing to become negative yourself, refusing to let bitterness reshape your character, refusing to allow cruel people to make you cruel, refusing to let emotional chaos destroy your ability to love, trust, and remain gentle. The world already contains enough angry people. Protecting your peace becomes an act of emotional courage. Many people wait for the world to become calmer before they allow themselves to feel peaceful. But peace cannot depend entirely on external circumstances because life will never remain perfect for long. There will always be difficult people, painful moments, disappointments, and uncertainty. Inner peace grows when you learn how to remain emotionally grounded despite external instability. The calmest individuals are not those who live without problems. They are the ones who no longer allow every problem to enter their soul. They understand that life becomes lighter when you stop reacting to everything. They recognize that some opinions do not matter, some conflicts are temporary, and some people simply do not deserve emotional access to your spirit. A quiet spirit changes the way you experience life. You stop chasing unnecessary arguments. You stop carrying emotional tension into every room. You stop replaying painful conversations repeatedly inside your head. Instead, you protect your energy carefully because you finally understand how expensive emotional chaos truly is.